Portugal.
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Romania. Yes. Slovakia. Dobre ráno. Finland.
Je voulais vous souhaiter la bienvenue au Parlement européen au nom de nos 751 députés et de son président, M. Antonio Tajani. Nos députés vous prêtent aujourd'hui leur place, chaque vous occupez des sièges des députés du Parlement européen. Quel va être votre exercice aujourd'hui? Vous allez devenir pendant 10 journées des députés européens. Les députés européens sont élus et cette élection leur donne le droit de siéger à l'hémicycle. Vous avez participé dans vos différents pays dans des concours. Vous avez gagné et c'est pour ça que vous êtes ici, vous occupez cette place pour représenter vos écoles, vos villes, vos pays et surtout vos collègues. Et vous allez faire comme des députés. Vous allez travailler en séance plénière, comme vous allez faire ce matin et en fin d'après-midi. Et aussi vous allez travailler dans des commissions parlementaires comme font les députés. Chacun de vous porte un badge et dans cette badge, il y a un fil géométrique qui correspond à la commission parlementaire au groupe dans lequel vous allez travailler.
Debate with you on so many different aspects in which the European Union is working, and it has such an impact in the life of citizens of all the member states. I must say, well, I am sitting in number 65. That my seat in Strasbourg, maybe one of you is sitting there, so that it is my side in the hemicycle.
The next question to pupils from Spain. Is there a question from Spain? Not yet, maybe in the next round. Yes, 658, 658, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'm Alvaro from Spain. My question is, after the terrorist attacks that have affected Europe for the last years, have the European Parliament think about creating a corporation specialized in terrorism? Thank you very much.
Hola Álvaro, encantada de hablar contigo. Hi Álvaro, how are you? Well, that's a very good question, as was the other ones. That's precisely one of the aspects which also, act together and take decisions together and take measures together is indispensable. I would say it is a must. It is should be mandatory, and we are, in a process because practically, I must say that most of the member states of the European Union, in one way or another, we had been subject of attacks from terrorism. Spain is a case in which we have really suffered in our skin, in our soul, in our heart tremendously. For example, with the attacks of 2004, 200 people died, but many others, Germany, France, and many others. I'm not going to mention all of them because it's practically all of them. So what is doing the European Union is to constantly to take a look to this and then to decide that different measures has been taken the last year in better coordination, in the sharing of information for the people of third countries, so countries which are not a member of the European Union, when they fly, when they enter the European Union, when they fly among different countries, and coordinate better, share information that can be crucial, make the delivering of the information and the controlling of information interoperable, because sometimes, many times, you have their own systems and you have to make it interoperable, so create a real kind of internal market in sharing this information and all these things. I mean, in that sense, really improve all these aspects of information sharing and coordination and so forth is crucial, so that will be easier as well to control, to follow the different possibility to detect in advance signals that this could happen, and so on and so forth. Well, this is how the European Union is working.
Thank you. Maybe we would take the next question again from Spain, if there is a question from Spain. No. 768, please.
Soy Alicia de España y me gustaría preguntarle sobre la opinión sobre la situación de los refugiados, que es un tema que nos importa a toda la Unión Europea, desde mi punto de vista, y que si usted está de acuerdo con la situación que viven y demás, y cómo las medidas que tomamos en los campos de refugiados y a la hora de llegar al país en cuestión al que llegan, y la forma en que los tratamos y cómo lo integramos en la sociedad en la que vivimos en la Unión Europea. Gracias.
Yes, the problem with the refugees, with the refugees, you can, with immigration, you know, because then you have different things and different situation, which is the origin of that. You have more the political ones, and then you have these last waves of, refugees, and then you have the one more linked to economic situation ones. In any case or in the other, what is important is try to improve the circumstances in the countries and areas of origin that explain why these people desperately need to leave of their own region and countries. So this is one of the things where the European Union must be involved in that. The European Union in those areas in which is poverty and living conditions, the one that are more linked to the desire to live, and then the fact that they leave the country, the countries. There's a number of plans related to Africa, for example, and there's many national plans. I mean, in the case of Spain, Spain works very closely to these with those countries like, for example, Mauritania and others that are great administrators in that sense, and source of people that either pass or either left the country, but not only Mauritania but others. No? So we find national programs to help these areas to grow and to get better living conditions. And then it is the one that are related to political problems, which sometimes, at least in the short run, is more difficult to solve. But then it is the other aspect, which probably it is more related to what you want to have an answer or a reflection, which is the one that come to the refugee camps, and they are in the borders, and then they want to enter, and so on and so forth. I think what is important is to really, among other things, to have an attitude also inside the European Union that we have to share the situation in terms of number of migrants that they enter finally in the European Union, and not to reject, as was the case of some countries that announced that they don't want to have. I don't want to share any group of migrants, and so I think this is something that has been debated very frequently. This is also the Irish, I think, agreement relatively recently, which then the Dublin, Irish, because it was Dublin agreement that they reinforced the need for the European Union, for each member state to reinforce their solidarity and not to be out of the group and not to reject, to receive people and so on and so forth. It's a very complex, problem, as you can imagine, mostly when you confront with millions of people. 100,000 of people that, they want to enter, that then you have to also to see exactly the condition of them, then you have to see how is better the integration of them and so on and so forth. So the complexity of the problem cannot be avoided. We can say in a kind of tertulia, imagine, you know perfectly well what is tertulia in a coffee, should be done that, no, this, that, but going from the tertulia to the reality and take action and responsibility is very different one. So, I don't know where you live, but if you live in a border, in a city which is in the border, close to Africa, or Morocco in our case, then you can understand this. So in that sense, I think we must act. We cannot just, be doing nothing. We must try to find the best way for the people, all the people we can, to offer certain conditions of integration, certain conditions of education, certain conditions of all this, of living and so on and so forth, to integrate better in the countries they go. And on the other hand, seriously act where the problems originated is. Being political or being linked to a situation of poverty and then extremely difficult economic situation for the daily life.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much. So now we go to the next part, which is the presentation of schools. That means that the floor is once more yours, and I will give the floor to the team to my right. Thank you.
Oui, maintenant c'est vous qui allez avoir la parole puisque nous passons à la présentation des écoles. Pour ce faire, vous avez choisi au sein de vos établissements des porte-paroles qui sont assis ici devant nous au premier rang. Je vous demande d'applaudir Caitlin qui nous vient de Belgique.
Goedemorgen iedereen. Good morning everyone. I am Caitlin and I am a pupil of the 6th year General Studies of the GO Koninklijk Atheneum Merksem, a school for whom the European motto, Unity through Diversity.
Bulgaria.
Good morning, dear fellow students. On behalf of the Greek delegation, I would like to thank the organizing committee for having gone through great lengths to organize this memorable Euroscholar event. We really appreciate all the hard work and effort. We are coming from different schools located in the region of Eastern Macedonian Thrace, in Greece, the country which organized the first Olympic Games and gave birth to democracy, Demokratia in Greek. Our region is situated in the northeast of Greece, and therefore there is a joining link between Europe and Asia, the first entrance to the European Union. Eastern Macedonian Thrace, like the rest of Greece, is associated with words starting with S: sea, sun and sand, salad, souvlaki and stew.
Nous restons dans le sud pour aller en Espagne avec Raquel.
Good morning, my name is Raquel and I represent a group of boys and girls from Ceuta, Spain. which is on the north of Africa. I'm going to talk about it. Ceuta is an open city which links two continents. It is one of the European ports to Africa, a place where the Mediterranean Sea, Atlantic Ocean, Europe and Africa intertwine to provide the city with its unique character. For strategic geographical reasons, Ceuta has been conquered throughout its history by different cultures. So, the cultural heritage is very rich. For example, the royal walls, where you will see the royal moats navigable since the era of Portugal's rule. The Hercules, which symbolizes the separation and union of two continents, is by far the biggest mythological sculpture in the world. In the 16th century, he became a Spanish city, and now Ceuta and Melilla are the only self-governing and autonomous cities in Spain. Apart from these important monuments, we want to highlight the importance of Ceuta when it comes to immigration, as it is a door to other countries. Ceuta is a welcoming place where different cultures come together and intermingle: Christians, Muslim, Hindi, and Jewish. While walking along the streets, we can see churches, mosques, a synagogue, and a Hindi temple. We respect each other, and religious festivities are celebrated together in exemplary harmony. Christmas, Ramadan, Hanukkah, Diwali. We are really proud of our cultural pluralism and multiculturalism. Finally, I would like to talk about our school, St. Augustine School, which was founded by Fathers Agustinos in 1914. 2 years ago, we celebrated our centenary, which was an important moment for all of us. The schools offer different levels, starting at the age of 3 and leaving at 17 to start university. There are 800 students and 48 teachers. Our ethos is basically a Christian one, and we try to foster not only religious values, but respect and tolerance toward each other. We are very proud to represent our city and our school here in the Parliament, and feel free to visit us. You will find a very interesting spot of the European Union, with a wide range of possibilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Portugal is situated in the southwest part of Europe, known as Garden by the Sea. Our past is really rich. We gave new worlds to the world, with the discoveries in the 15th century. But also present is our identity. Who doesn't know McNamara and the Waves of Nazareth? Salvador Sobral in the Eurovision contest, Telma Monteiro and Judo, Cristiano Ronaldo in his Golden Boot, Economical and Financials, Mário Centeno, the World of Technologies, Web Summit, Humanitarian Celebrities, António Guterres. All this is Portugal. Our city, Aveiro, in the center of Portugal, known as Portuguese Benin, near the sea with beautiful beaches, digital houses and boats, delicious food and tasteful orange. Look, here you can see to taste at lunchtime. Look, salt from Ria de Aveiro, the typical man of salt exploration. Our school, Colégio de Alvegaria, is placed here with a population of 600 students, with children in an early age of 3 and high school students, which is something that makes our school a kind of a big family. We believe that experiences like these are essential in the international open mind for the Union in a global Europe. Alone we go faster, but together we go farther.
Sur l'Union européenne. À vous de voter. Est-ce qu'on vous donne suffisamment d'informations à votre avis ou voudriez-vous en avoir plus? C'est le sens de cette question. Est-ce que vous avez tous voté? On dirait que oui. Alors nous allons sans tarder clore le vote. Voilà qui est fait. Et voici les résultats. Une majorité de non encore. 326 personnes voudraient bien plus d'informations sur l'Union européenne dans leurs écoles.
maternelle en anglais. C'est pour ça qu'elle répond. Alors, juste pour vous dire que ce n'est pas évident. Ce n'est pas évident de parler des une langue qui n'est pas notre langue maternelle. Et en plus donner des réponses qui sont quand même pas faciles à répondre, parce que les questions aussi, c'est pas facile. Hein. Alors, j'avais promis la parole à 92.
Et vous, monsieur, 52, vous avez déjà parlé. Donc, je donne la possibilité à d'autres qui n'ont pas parlé, qui n'ont pas encore pris la parole. 303. 303. Mademoiselle, à vous.
Soy Alicia de España y me gustaría comentar el caso de hacer una cultura en general para la Unión Europea. Me parecería un poco difícil, por no decir bastante, ya que todos tenemos nuestra propia cultura y es algo que no se debe de perder, y al intentar hacer una cultura única para la Unión Europea tendríamos el riesgo de perder mucho de nuestras propias culturas en países como Francia, España, Italia, Finlandia, el que sea. Pienso que todos tenemos que tener nuestra propia cultura, evidentemente, y no tener ese riesgo de perderla, pero a la vez con la historia que tiene la Unión Europea, que por decir prácticamente tiene pocos de años de historia comparado con el resto de países de la Unión Europea, en comparación con la historia que tienen varios países de la Unión Europea, tiene pocos años de historia. Entonces, la cultura se tiene que ir formando poco a poco con la historia que vamos creando nosotros unidos. Ahora mismo no podemos hacer que coger un poquito de la cultura de España, un poquito de la cultura de Francia, un poquito de la cultura de Italia y hacer una mezcla. Eso lo veo muy complicado. Yo creo que a partir de la historia que vamos haciendo, a partir de lo que vamos consiguiendo unidos como países y como Unión Europea, sí podemos hacer una cultura, pero no cogiendo un poquito de cada cultura. Gracias.
Je vais prendre la parole sur ce rapport-là. Le numéro 682. 682. Mademoiselle, à vous. Levez-vous, présentez-vous et posez votre question, s'il vous plaît.
Hola, yo soy Elisa de España y pienso que en vez de muchas veces nos quejamos y decimos que nos molestan los que vienen a nuestro país, pero muchas veces no pensamos que esas personas están dejando todo o lo poco que tienen, y puede ser tanto sus familias como cosas materiales, y en vez de dejarlo estar en nuestro país, lo echamos. Y también hay que pensar que a lo mejor, vale, los podemos echar porque pueden molestar en cierto modo, pero en vez de echarlos así sin más, podríamos mandar, en vez de tanta ayuda económica, podríamos mandar voluntarios que les ayuden a saber cómo cultivar y a saber cómo hacer las cosas para que ese mismo país pueda salir adelante igual que nosotros lo estamos haciendo. Gracias.
Yes, that's where education comes in. While you're educating the migrants, we also have to educate the locals in how to deal with the migrants and how to actually help them integrate within society. So, apart from the host families, which will be trained obviously to host these migrants, locals, community-based locals will have to educate themselves on how to actually deal with these migrants, what background they're from, their culture, and how to properly address the migrants that are actually entering their community.
Oui, le 331. 331.
Hola, soy Álvaro de España y bueno, estoy en gran parte de acuerdo con las propuestas, pero también creo que el problema en muchas ocasiones no es solo la falta de empleo, de experiencia, que también hay que aumentarla, sino también que muchas personas quieren conseguir sus objetivos demasiado pronto y a lo mejor no quieren trabajar en un empleo del cual están cualificados, pero creen que no cobran lo suficiente, no son aptos para ese empleo. Entonces creo que también se debería de cambiar un poco la mentalidad, no solo la educación de la preparación, sino la mentalidad de decirle a los estudiantes y a todas las personas que no van a conseguir las cosas de un día para otro, sino que tienen que ir poco a poco y aceptar un trabajo, porque si no, ese trabajo después, vale, no hay mucho trabajo y tal, pero si no lo aceptas, ni siquiera vas a ganar nada de dinero. Es mejor ganar menos dinero, pero ganar algo. Gracias.
Vielen Dank für diese Frage. Ich stimme Ihnen da vollkommen zu. Man sollte nur darauf achten, dass grundsätzlich, wie auch von uns genannt wurde, die Berufsberatung eine sehr große Rolle spielt, insbesondere in der Schule, und es dadurch durchaus die Möglichkeit gibt, genau das, was Sie gerade gesagt haben, auch weiterzutragen. Danke.
Bien, bien. Merci beaucoup, Léon, pour la réponse en allemand. Et merci aussi à Alvaro pour la question en espagnol. Alors, le 335. 335.
Hello, my name is Swat and I'm also from Spain. And my question is related to Alvaro's affirmation. And nowadays the majority of young people feel unmotivated or even obligated to study a degree to apply for a job in the future or a job that they really don't like. So my question is if the European Union would change those thoughts that young people is having nowadays more and more. Thank you.
Excuse me, I didn't understand your question. I'm sorry.
If the European Union is going to do something to change those thoughts or beliefs that young people is having nowadays more and more related to studying something that they don't really like, but they should study that to earn maybe more money or something in the future.
Pass this question to Paulina.
Ok, passons à la prochaine question. C'est pour ça que vous avez la chance de parler, vous avez la chance de parler dans vos langues maternelles, mademoiselle. Pourquoi vous persistez à parler dans une langue que vous ne maîtrisez pas et qu'on ne comprend pas? Nos interprètes sont là pour nous aider. Posez la question en español.
Hoy en día, como ha dicho Álvaro, todos nosotros, los jóvenes, muchas veces nos sentimos obligados a estudiar algo con lo que no nos sentimos correspondidos a nuestros gustos. Y entonces mi pregunta era si la Unión Europea podría hacer algo o va a llevar a cabo alguna medida para intentar cambiar estos pensamientos que ahora se están inculcando muy a menudo en los jóvenes y que están siendo prácticamente ya irreparables.
After all, trotz allem müssen wir letzten Endes sicher gehen, dass jede Person das macht, was ihm letzten Endes am meisten bringt. Das ist eine persönliche Entscheidung. Jeder Mensch hat das Recht auf eine freie Berufswahl. Und wir können natürlich jeder Person nur ans Herz legen, das zu machen, was ihm Spaß macht. Aber ob man letzten Endes das macht, was am meisten Spaß macht, oder das macht, was man am meisten Geld verdient, ist eine Frage, die sich jeder selber stellen muss. Und die kann ich auch nicht beantworten.
Merci beaucoup et bonne soirée.
Ay, qué bien.
¿Está Raquel?
Je déclare officiellement close la journée Euroscola du 22 mars 2018.
No. Hay un chico, parece. ¿Ya habrán intercambiado las banderas? ¿Puedo hablar con ella?
Ah, lleva la de Portugal.
La de Portugal la lleva ella con ella, la chica. ¿Y eso qué? Sí, van de 2 en 2.